Good Monday morning. Today is a first alert weather day. Tuesday as well, as we could have high temperatures into the triple digits for lower elevations. We'll tell you much more about this coming up later in the show, and we'll provide heat safety tips as well. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, feeling pretty good out there, and 50s up in the mountains. 50s, it's really 50s and 60s across the board, depending on what elevation you're in. Okay, right now, the day planner forecast for the rest of today for lower elevations, 80s by the time we get to lunchtime, and then up around triple digits for lower elevations, especially for the lower Columbia Basin. And we'll have some light upper level haze that'll be making its way in as well. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. Triple digit heat for today and tomorrow for lower elevations. The pivot back to normal high temperatures, that's going to be on Wednesday. Normal high temperatures for Thursday and beyond. But because of that pivot, because of the cold front, that's going to be moving through. Wind's going to pick up, fire danger increasing for Wednesday. Unfortunately, the vegetation is going to stay pretty dry as our forecast stays mostly dry. So I'll touch on all these points, but especially the heat for the next couple of days coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, it was a deadly day in North Idaho. 2 firefighters killed, another injured when a gunman opened fire during a wildfire response. What we're learning this morning about the chaotic scene and the local impact that's followed.
Plus, a manhunt continues in Washington after a tense standoff and officer-involved shooting. Coming up, what we know so far about the suspect and the deputies that are now on leave.
And a domestic violence investigation in Yakima leads to a loaded gun and hundreds of suspected fentanyl pills. The charges that the suspect now faces. It's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Monday, June 30th. A lot to get to this morning.
And we want to start with new information. The devastating scene that unfolded Sunday afternoon in northern Idaho. What began as a brush fire quickly turned into a deadly ambush as first responders rushed to the foothills of Canfield Mountain near Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, and that's where a gunman armed with what authorities believe was a high-powered rifle started the fire, and then started to shoot at those firefighters as they worked to contain the blaze.
Now, 2 firefighters were killed in the attack. A third was critically wounded and remains in stable condition after undergoing surgery. Sheriff Robert Norris confirmed the identities of the victims' agencies during an emotional press conference.
We did lose a Coeur d'Alene firefighter, and we did lose a firefighter from the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. We have another firefighter that just came out of surgery from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. I'm sorry, from the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, right? Is that true? Okay. He just came out of surgery. He is fighting for his life, but he's in stable condition.
Norris described the chaos as it unfolded, saying the sniper was hidden in rugged terrain and opened fire without warning.
The gunman was later found dead in a wooded area as flames closed in. His name has not been released and the motive still unknown.
Now, the entire community is grieving this morning, and local leaders say this day will leave a lasting scar.
June 29, 2025 is a day that we will not forget in this community. It is the day evil showed its face and we lost 2 outstanding professionals of the highest quality. And I cannot fathom why anyone would commit such a heinous act.
The FBI has now joined the investigation, offering technical and tactical support as authorities work to piece together exactly what led up to this tragedy.
Now, just as that press conference was set to begin, a procession escorted the bodies of the fallen firefighters to Spokane. Fellow firefighters and law enforcement officers lined the route in salute.
And as news of the tragedy spread, fire departments across the region began reaching out with their support, honoring the fallen and standing in solidarity with the entire firefighting community. Benton County Fire District 1 saying there are no words adequate to express the pain we feel tonight for our brothers and sisters in Coeur d'Alene and Kootenai County in Idaho. We stand ready to come to the aid of our community when called. We know no other way to respond. It's, of course, a developing story we'll continue to follow. But now switching gears with news out of Yakima this morning, where more than one deputy with the Yakima County Sheriff's Office are on leave after a shooting Saturday morning at a home in Outlook. The deputies were called to a home in the 2600 block of Van Bell Road just after 11:30 for a domestic violence report. According to information from Washington State Patrol, when deputies arrived, they were met outside the home by a man with a gun. Authorities say shots were fired and the man ran back into the home. Several law enforcement agencies from Yakima and Benton counties, as well as from the Tri-Cities, were all called to the scene to help. After several hours, authorities went into the home, but the man was not found. No one was hurt, and the search for the man continues. Yakima Valley Special Investigation Unit has taken over the investigation of the shooting since it now involves law enforcement officers.
And staying in Yakima, police responded to a domestic violence call Saturday afternoon around 1:15 involving a man accused of damaging property in an apartment that he shared with his girlfriend. Officers say the suspect was armed and took off on foot when they tried to detain him, tossing a loaded handgun to the ground as he ran. After a short chase, he was caught and found with a large amount of suspected fentanyl pills, as well as smaller amounts of powdered fentanyl. Now, police say the man is a convicted felon and now faces multiple charges, including unlawful possession of a firearm, drug trafficking, and domestic violence malicious mischief. In Kennewick, police arrested 2 people after a theft turned into a foot chase on Saturday. Officers were called to a business on South Quelan Street where a man and woman were seen concealing items including dog food and trying to leave. When a loss prevention officer tried to get the items back, police say the man refused and took off running. Officers caught up to the suspects near Highway 395 and 27th Avenue. 35-year-old Jose Venegas is facing robbery and obstruction charges and had an active felony warrant. 37-year-old Lacey Minor is facing theft and disorderly conduct charges.
5:06 in a fire watch this morning. A brush fire just south of Columbia Center Boulevard and West 20th Avenue in Kennewick kept fire crews busy Sunday afternoon, even until this morning. Fire broke out just before 3 p.m., spreading across about 3 acres of light and medium brush. It was moving uphill to the west. Extra ground crews and air support were called in to help contain the flames. By about 10:30, the fire was under control. Air units along with resource crews cleared the scene, and they're continuing to monitor it.
And one house was destroyed and another damaged in Pasco after a fire broke out last week, and now it's under investigation.
Yeah, Apple Valley News Now, Monique Garcia says Pasco Fire tells her everyone was able to make it out safely, but now they're left without a home.
Tim Harkins, Deputy Chief of Operations with the Pasco Fire Department, says although the fire on the 5500 block of Robert Wayne Drive in Pasco is being investigated, they suspect they know where the flames started.
Preliminary reports are that they were cooking on the back porch area with barbecue equipment, and it's possible that it started there. That's consistent with what we're seeing. With the damage to the building and things like that.
We're told the call for help came in at 9:57 with the first fire engine arriving at the house within 2 minutes. The Pasco Police Department was the first to arrive.
Our first arriving crew found heavily involved residential structure fire, both on the main floor, the back porch, and the second floor in the attic, and then 2 additional residential exposures, meaning other houses that were threatened by the fire in that house, and they protected those exposures.
Harkins says Franklin County Fire District 3 helped in battling the blazes, while the Pasco PD assisted with traffic and with a drone. The Pasco Fire Department says if you see something, say something and call it in.
It just reminds us to mention that early 911 notification is critical in the chain of events that's necessary for us to be able to respond quickly and efficiently and get the fire under control quickly.
Although the exact cause of the fire hasn't yet been confirmed, officials want to remind you to always be attentive when grilling.
Don't leave any exterior barbecues or cooking areas unattended, and especially if you're cooking with greases, there's a lot of potential for a grease fire to happen, and if you're not immediately there, it can extend very quickly.
Reporting in Pasco, Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
And the Tri-Cities Chaplain Services Network is working with the family to help connect them with resources.
The Red Cross has also been contacted to help the family as well.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, if you're a big fan of Sonic's Little Ice, you'll want to see this. Consumer Reports shares the best way to get great ice at home and also keep it fresh.
And Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have your first alert forecast as we give you that live look outside this morning from our Bimart camera in Yakima. He's going to let you know just how hot it's going to get as we make our way into this week. It is 10 minutes after 5. We'll be right back.
We're here at U.S. Cellular for Us Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them.
It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Swag.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
Saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Vance Heating and Air has been keeping Yakima homes cool since 1986. If your air conditioner needs service this summer, we'll take $86 off the cost of any AC repair. Don't leave it to chance. Call Vance.
The 4th of July sale is on now at More Furniture with explosive savings on premium mattresses. Choose from your favorites like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy and save up to $600 on select premium mattress sets. Best of all, for a limited time, you'll get 72 months interest-free financing. That's 72 equal monthly payments, no interest and no money down, plus free white glove delivery and removal of your old mattress. Visit More Furniture, where everyone gets more furniture for less.
Right now, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in.
Are we having the wool pulled over our eyes here?
Nope. And you get the latest phones.
High five.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90. And we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Come on. Come on. Come on now.
You have no idea what to expect now.
Come on, man.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because of the extreme heat that we'll have. The National Weather Service in Pendleton agrees as they've gone with the heat advisory for lower elevations from 9 this morning to 9 in the evening on Tuesday. We'll definitely have more to say about the heat later in the show. Right now, temperatures already mild out there, 50s and 60s in Kittitas County. The lone exception, 49 degrees there in Cle Elum. Then in the Yakima Valley, also seeing a mixture of 50s and 60s. It is the same thing in the lower Columbia Basin, 63 up towards the Hanford site. The same mixture in the Blue Foothills, and we do have some upper 40s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Okay, here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Maybe you'd need the lightest jacket before 8 this morning, but after that, it's going to be all t-shirt weather all throughout the day. So for today, it's going to be very hot. Of highs, it'll be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, so 90s and triple digits for lower elevations. And not only will it be sunny out there, but it could be some hazy sunshine as well. So let's go ahead and track that with Futurecast wildfire smoke. This is 12 p.m. this afternoon. You can see the smoke, the upper level smoke approaching from the south and from the west. Then by 4 p.m. it's going to blanket much of the region, and that'll continue not only into this evening but into the overnight hours and for much of the day tomorrow. It kind of serves as an atmospheric river where the smoke and the haze just sort of train over the same locations. What does this mean? It means that we're going to have light haze up in the skies. Could see some subtle reductions to air quality, but back to the heat. I'll tell you just specifically how hot we'll be for today and tomorrow coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. 5:14. With summer heating up and the holiday weekend quickly approaching, there's one thing that can make or break your drink: The ice.
All ice lovers know this. There's a certain kind that's better. Now, no Sonicare, but Chick-fil-A's is pretty good. So you have to try it.
Absolutely, I agree there, yeah.
So whether you prefer cubes, crushed bullets, or those crunchy little nuggets with a cult following like Chick-fil-A's, Consumer Reports reveals the best ways to get great ice at home and how to keep it fresh all season long.
That crunchy but chewable Sonic Ice has quite the fan base, and now you can get it without hitting the drive-thru. Countertop nugget ice makers have become so popular for home office or RV, they're now a billion-dollar industry. This top-rated GE model is fast, quiet, portable, and a hit with ice enthusiasts. New Air's nugget maker didn't land as high in CR's ratings, but it's more budget-friendly. If bullet ice is your thing, CR likes this Vivo Home model. No matter how you make it, keeping ice fresh is key.
Stinky ice is no fun. It's really just a great way to ruin a nice drink.
It's a common issue, and your refrigerator may be to blame.
This usually happens when ice has been sitting in your ice maker or ice bin for several weeks, and it's had a long time to absorb the smells of the food that's in your fridge.
It's especially common in older single evaporator models.
Cold air passes between the freezer and fresh food compartments, making it easier for your ice to get smelly.
If this happens, dump the bin and start fresh.
If some of it smells, likely all of it smells.
Then clean the bin. If it's not dishwasher safe, wash it by hand with baking soda and warm water. You can also add baking soda near the ice to help absorb odors. If you make ice the old school way, skip silicone trays. They can absorb fridge odors and make ice taste funny. Instead, Consumer Reports recommends Rubbermaid's plastic trays or OXO's model with a lid. It doesn't take much to keep your ice fresh, so every drink hits the spot this summer. This is Marcy Whalen.
Have you seen those people who've been adding like fruits and flowers into their ice? It makes me want to do it, but I don't have the patience for that.
Makes it really pretty.
They have like all sorts of like different ice, like different colors.
People with that's a little much.
Yeah, I could dream.
Yeah, a girl could dream. But I do think it's pretty, like for a party.
Yes.
Hosting a bridal shower or something like that. Or if you put it into a bundt cake pan.
Ooh.
So you do like a frozen ring, and you can do fruits or edible flowers and things like that in your bundt cake pan, and then put that into like a serving bowl of
so many ideas. You'll have to do it and show us.
I'll throw a party and I'll do it.
Yeah, invite me.
Pictures or it didn't happen. All right, so much for ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He will have your first alert forecast as we start the week on this Monday, giving you a live look outside from our Biomark camera in Yakima. It is 17 minutes after 5. We'll be right back.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
This is Summer with Nissan. It's a great time to buy at the Nissan Summer Sales Event, featuring the Rogue, Pathfinder, and Frontier, free from new tariffs. Get the #1 shopping experience according to J.D. Power. Hurry to a Nissan dealer today.
Now get up to $6,000 total savings on Frontier, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Win and save with Lucky Number Tuesday at Buy-Mart. Win great prizes this week from Cuisinart, Igloo, Shelter Logic, and more. Plus save with special Tuesday-only pricing. Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Buy-Mart.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthai Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
I'd like to let Stacy know how much my wife and I really enjoy watching her program and the news, but especially the weather section, and the fact that she occasionally puts my photographs up on the screen as a viewer photograph. So thank you, Stacy.
We love hearing from viewers. If you watch Apple Valley News Now, let us know. Email comments at applevalleynewsnow.com. Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
Are you tired of seeing money all around the house? Then start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. And if we can't repair your covered item, we'll replace it.
I've saved thousands, and that makes me happy.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-964-2842. That's 1-800-964-2842.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222. Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because of the extreme heat, and the forecast the same thing with tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow is probably going to be a little bit hotter as opposed to today. Okay, so for today, lots of sunshine across the map. We'll have some light upper level haze across the map as well. And these highs are going to be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So 90s and even some triple digits for lower elevations, even in the 80s up in the mountains, at least for the Cascades, 70s and 80s for the Blues. Winds thankfully going to be mostly light for today, but this evening after 8 p.m. we could have some gusts up around 25 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Then for tonight, more widespread haze across the map. Overnight lows very mild as we'll be down into the 60s for lower elevations, 50s in the Cascades and 50s and 60s in the Blues. For tomorrow, this is likely going to be the hottest day of this ordeal, as once again we'll be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So 90s and triple digits for lower elevations, 102 for the Tri-Cities, 102 for Hermiston, 103 up towards the Hanford site, 70s up in the Cascades, and 80s in the Blues. And again, we'll pass along some heat safety tips coming up a little bit later in the show. But the winds for tomorrow, thankfully, mostly light before 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., we can see some peak gusts around 35 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. We'll classify that as windy. So we'll be tracking the fire start potential very, very closely, but especially for Wednesday. This is when the winds are going to be a lot more widespread, a lot stronger. Peak gusts around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 35 miles per hour for the Morrow County foothills. So again, the setup here is the same. Fires could start or spread quickly. We'll be keeping a very close eye on that. And the reason why winds picking up for Wednesday, because of a cold front that will drop our high temperatures down to more seasonal stuff for Thursday and beyond. So we don't like to see the winds going up, but we do like to see the temperatures going down. And rain chances, you can forget about it over the next 7 days. So our vegetation dryness is, those levels are going to be up there, which means that fire danger will also be going up. Here is 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Triple-digit heat today and tomorrow. Breezy and a bit cooler Thursday. The normal highs into the 4th of July weekend. In Yakima, near 100 Monday and Tuesday. Mid-90s Wednesday. Then upper 80s Thursday and beyond. In Ellensburg, highs teeter-totter on triple digits today and tomorrow. Then tracking dangerous fire weather Wednesday and Thursday due to winds picking up. In Hermiston, either at 100 or a bit hotter Monday and Tuesday. Then 90s and breezy for Wednesday through Sunday. Then for Walla Walla, hot weather for the next couple days, perhaps a shower on Wednesday, then dry with normal highs for Thursday and beyond.
Thank you, Josh. Now buckle up, because coming up next, Dominic Toretto and the family are hitting the gas again in the latest Fast and Furious movie, and we've got a sneak peek coming up in your entertainment headlines after the break.
It's time for Pasco's Grand Old Fourth. Get ready for a full day of family fun. Start with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast at 7, then enjoy the pre-parade street dance and catch the cardboard regatta before heading to Red, White, and Swim. At 7:30, join us for the Battle of the Bands. Cheer loud and vote for your favorite. Then end the night with a spectacular fireworks show at 10 p.m. For a full list of events, visit PascoGo4.com.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
I'd like to let Stacy know how much my wife and I really enjoy watching her program and the news, but especially the weather section, and the fact that she occasionally puts my photographs up on the screen as a viewer photograph. So thank you, Stacy.
We love hearing from viewers. If you watch Apple Valley News Now, let us know. Email comments at applevalleyNewsNow.com. Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
We're back, baby.
Yes. I'm so excited to be here.
We actually watch you every night. You're in our bedroom every night.
The feud gets wild.
Come on. Grandma, he smells really good.
Weird.
Are you ready for this?
Take two. And famously funny. Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
Celebrity Family Feud, season premiere Thursday, July 10th on ABC.
On behalf of STCU, we want to present you with this $1,000 check.
Brian is the regional logistics leader. He makes sure things are ready when it comes to disaster response.
I went out there and I really enjoyed what we were doing. We were handing meals out to people that were affected by the wildfires. And they were so appreciative, they were thankful. And it just gave me a good feeling. I said, I got to do this some more.
STCU honors volunteers in our community. To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
This time of year, dangerous storms pop up, bringing rain, wind, and lightning.
And many times, that lightning causes wildfires, some of which change lives forever.
This is just one reason to trust First Alert Weather from Apple Valley News Now.
With cutting-edge technology and the experience of our team, trust us to help keep your family safe this wildfire season.
On air, online, and mobile with our First Alert Weather app.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather, always on your side. A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines today, we're taking a look at the latest and what they're saying is the last Fast and Furious movie.
I believe it when I see it. And also an announcement on the new installment that will have many fans grabbing tissues, as there could be another tribute to the late Paul Walker.
Speaking of movies, we're also taking a look at actress Emma Stone's new dark role.
Here's Rick Damigella with the Hollywood Minute.
Let's go for a little ride.
The final Fast and the Furious film may have a surprise for fans. Variety reports Vin Diesel teased the return of the late Paul Walker's character during an appearance at the Fuel Fest car convention. The actor did not provide more details, but said fans can expect to see the 11th movie in the franchise in April 2027.
The workers gather pollen for the Queen.
Good morning, Clark. Emma Stone gets kidnapped in her latest role. Begonia finds the actress playing a high-powered CEO who is abducted by conspiracy theorists, believing she is an alien from another planet. Jesse Plemons co-stars in the dark comedy, which is set for release in October. An anime hit comes to an end. Here's a sneak peek at the latest film in the Demon Slayer franchise, Infinity Castle. This is the first of a planned 3-part finale to the global sensation and will hit North American theaters on September 12th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A little something for everyone. You said you're a Fast and the Furious fan, right?
I am. I know a lot of people are like, oh, another one. They just need to end it already, but I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah, what about yourself?
I think they can continue forever.
I was on that train of like they need to end it already.
There he is.
Yeah.
There's one of them right there.
I felt like the natural place for it to end would have been in 2015 when Paul Walker passed.
I guess we'll see if this is the final one.
Yeah.
But the Emma Stone movie looks good too.
That looks wild, doesn't it? Yeah.
Adding that to my list.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, a Pasco man pulled from the Columbia River after a homemade boating attempt goes wrong. Coming up, we have the lesson that authorities hope the public takes away from this incident.
And if you ever wondered what's in your tap water, Pasco's latest water quality report is now out, and the results might surprise you. Well, the full breakdown coming up, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, customers are accusing Hertz of taking them for a ride. They say the car rental company's new AI-powered scanners are leading to hefty charges for minor scuffs and dings. Hertz says the new system will bring greater transparency, precision, and speed to the process. President Trump claims he's found buyers for TikTok, saying it's a group of very wealthy people. He says he believes Chinese President Xi Jinping will approve the deal. TikTok was supposed to be sold in January in accordance with a new law, but Trump extended the deadline again, this time to mid-September. And finally, teams of humanoid robots powered by artificial intelligence faced off in a 3-on-3 soccer match over the weekend in China. They have advanced visual sensors to identify the ball and could even stand up after falling over. Even so, several still had to be carried off on stretchers. These robots ever have to play Inter Miami, things could get messy. Those are your Tech Bites.
Do you own a dishwasher but only use it for storage or as a drying rack? Get better results than hand washing with your dishwasher and Cascade Complete. Your dishwasher does the work for you with temperatures up to 140 degrees, too hot for hands. Some dishwashers even have a sanitizing cycle. Load pots, pans, and tableware at the bottom with plastic and glassware on top. Cascade Complete removes visible and invisible residue for virtually spot-free and shiny dishes. Switch to your dishwasher and Cascade Complete.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
This is a meal, a tender Italian steak and mozzarella sandwich so good you can't stop saying focaccia meal.
Focaccia. 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 Focaccia.
Focaccia.
Focaccia.
Focaccia. Try the new Italian steak and mozz sandwich. It just meals good at Panera.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
It's the last day of June. Julying, no.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah,
it's
tomorrow's July 1st, and then
yeah.
it's July 4th, and then the year's almost over. No,
and then Christmas is here, and so on
pretty
and
much.
so forth.
Rapid fire.
Okay, so did you make it to the end of June?
I did. So now we're at a very nice square $1,400. The jackpot 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our good friends of the Legends Casino and Hotel. On Friday, went with forecast high at 85, verified at 85. So yes, the jackpot went up. So for today, see, this is the part of the year where it gets a little bit tricky because we have smoke coming in. That can sometimes kind of throw a monkey's wrench into the forecast high temperature, so we'll see how it goes. But going with the forecast high of 99, toasty stuff today in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if the high verifies between 96 to 102, the jackpot's going to hit $1,425. If that doesn't happen, the $1,400 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, today is a first alert weather day. In addition to tomorrow, could have high temperatures up into the triple digits for lower elevations. Just some tips that I want you to take to heart. If you're going to walk the pets, the earlier in the day, the better. If the kids are going to be outside, just be sure that they're drinking water, that they're staying hydrated. If you're going to be working outside, stay hydrated yourself. Take breaks in the shade and check in on those vulnerable populations, especially the elderly. And we'll talk about this again coming up later in the show. All right, right now temperatures in the 50s and 60s already for lower elevations. The same thing for the higher terrain as well. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities already going to be around 80 as soon as 10 this morning, around 90 by lunchtime, and then up around triple digits with plenty of sunshine, but some light haze moving in as we head into the afternoon. So for today, highs for lower elevations, 90s in triple digits. Like I mentioned, this is going to be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very hot forecast, and I'll show you just how dry our vegetation is looking. So all that is going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thanks so much. Well, we begin this half hour of news with some new information coming in this morning after a man nearly drowned in the Columbia River.
He was rushed to a hospital Thursday night from the dock area near Schlegel Park in Pasco.
Yeah, Pasco Fire Department says he was attempting to boat. You see it right there. They're pulling it up off that dock in a Fisher-Price sandbox shaped as a boat. Officials say the toy sandbox sank and then the man struggled to keep above water.
A dive and rescue team was called out to the scene but later canceled as officials say they used the Pasco Fire Department's water rescue member to save him. And the water rescuer says the man was exhausted from trying to stay afloat and cold due to the water temperature despite the warm weather.
Pasco Fire Department Battalion Chief saying that with these warmer days, if you do plan to hit the water, remember, wear a life jacket, use approved floating water gear, and remember, it feels hot out, but that water is still chilly.
Yeah, just be smart.
Yeah, exactly.
And staying on the topic of water safety, the latest water quality report for the city of Pasco is now officially out.
Yeah, and it shows that the city's drinking water continues to meet or exceed both state and federal safety standards.
Apple Valley News Now's William Albert has more on what the report means for folks in Pasco.
The city of Pasco's water comes from the Columbia River and is treated at 2 facilities using chlorine before it's sent into a distribution system, then out to homes and businesses across the city. The city's most recent water report shows Pasco is on the right track when it comes to maintaining high water quality standards. Water officials say the annual report also helps educate the public on how the water treatment process works.
And in that report, we're able to, in a way, describe what the water looked like, or the chemical water process looked like the previous years. Those reports have to be made available to the public by July 1st of the following year.
Across the city, Pasco has several sampling stations where water is regularly monitored to maintain quality.
In the city, we also have different sample stations in which we monitor every week to be able to make sure that the water quality stays at the high standard that we hold ourselves to along the whole city.
The city of Pasco tests hundreds of water samples to make sure that if there are any contaminants in the water, it is under the maximum contaminant level.
So we have a Butterfield treatment facility, and then we also have a West Pasco water treatment facility. All that data gets collected in this report, and the idea behind this is to be able to educate the public.
Right now, the city is in its busiest season when it comes to water treatment.
So right now, our facility is seeing between 17 to 20 million gallons of water being processed and delivered into the distribution system.
And with the growing population, the city of Pasco is already planning ahead to meet future demand.
Looking forward, we know that the city is growing, and part of that growth is that there is higher water demand, and that's why we're looking into upgrading our Butterfield water treatment facility.
The city of Pasco is making sure its residents continue to have access to safe, clean water for years to come. In Pasco, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, William. Now, for more on Pasco's most recent water quality report, just head over to our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
5:35 now, and in Washington, the Department of Ecology is working to get rid of harmful forever chemicals found in everyday household items, some of which you might not expect. Safer Products for Washington is a program started back in 2019 by the Department of Ecology to help regulate toxic chemicals commonly found in consumer goods. The program runs in 4 phases over a 5-year cycle, and it recently wrapped up its phase 2 work, identifying products that contain forever chemicals like PFAS and hormone-disrupting chemicals. Senior toxicologist Marissa Smith says people might be surprised by where these chemicals are turning up.
2 of the new products that we are researching for PFAS are artificial turf and architectural paints. And these might not be the products that you think of, like your nonstick cookware or your raincoat. PFAS kind of serves a different purpose.
So the department says it's continuing research on several more products before moving forward with restricting certain products that contain these forever chemicals. 5:36, and Sunnyside got a taste of what the Boys and Girls Club is all about.
And also teens gained some leadership skills as well.
The Boys and Girls Club hosting a Club on Wheels event at South Hill Park over the weekend, part of its teen leadership experience.
So 175 middle and high school students from Boys and Girls Clubs all around the state ran activities for the younger kids.
Yeah, in addition to this, to exposing Sunnyside to the organization, the event also served another purpose.
Yeah, just seeing themselves being a leader is our biggest goal, and for them to to serve our community, just being a servant leader and just opening up different opportunities for them to learn how to impact their club, the community, and just more importantly themselves.
And Mercer also says that the goal is to one day open a Boys and Girls Club in Sunnyside.
Good people doing good things.
Good people doing good things. We love it.
All right, coming up next, birdies and broken records. We'll take a look at one of Oregon's most highly anticipated golf tournaments. Our very own Dan Hansen will have that breakdown in just a few minutes.
But first, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky camera at Richland's Columbia Point. Beautiful start to the week on this last day of June as we head into the 4th of July weekend. What will your forecast look like? Well, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth is going to break it all down for you. It's 5:38. We're back after the break.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
The 4th of July is coming up, and just like Tri-Cityans have done for over 20 years, kick off the celebration early with the Dust Devils game and fireworks show. Come to Giesa Stadium on July 3rd and enjoy an action-packed ball game followed by one of the best fireworks shows of the year, presented by McCacken Electric. Happy birthday, America! For tickets, head to the official site, dustdevilsbaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social.
We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
At US Cellular, we created an event to celebrate our customers, like Luana here, called Us Days.
Yeah, they give us special rewards and exclusive deals and everything. It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Sure does.
Slide, connect. Woo, woo, woo. Hug, shake.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
The 4th of July sale is on now at More Furniture with red, white, and blue savings in every department. Just in time for summer entertaining, family gatherings, and holiday celebrations. During the 4th of July sale, you'll get our very best offer. No money down, subtract the sales tax, and absolutely no interest until July 2026. Plus, you'll get free white glove delivery and will remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. Visit your local More Furniture where everyone gets more for less.
We're back, baby.
Yes.
Grandma, he smells really good.
Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
All across America.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yes, today is a first alert weather day because of the heat, so we'll go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast heat. We start off in Kittitas County. Look at this, Snoqualmie Pass. Even up there, it's going to be in the mid-80s, around 100 for both Ellensburg and Vantage. Then in the Yakima Valley, we'll also be on the cusp of 100 degrees up and down the valley. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, some of us do hit 100 degrees. Umatilla, Hermiston, Benton City, Hanford. For the Tri-Cities, I'm technically going with a forecast high of 99. Then for the Blue Foothills, looks like most of us will likely be below 100, but cutting it pretty close. And then 80s and 90s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. And you saw a lot of hazy icons for today as yes, there will be some light haze, light upper level haze. But if we did have reductions in air quality, those would end up being pretty subtle. Okay, here's your vegetation dryness forecast for today. Remember that all of these levels have been adjusted for typical dryness per microclimate. We do not like to see red on this map, and there's a lot of red on this map for today as the vegetation is going to be critically dry in the Cascades in the upper Yakima Basin, in the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, lower Columbia Basin, and Blue Foothills. However, I think personally I'm a little bit more concerned about Wednesday. Still a lot of red on this map for lower elevations, and at this point the winds are going to be much stronger, so we'll have the potential for fires to start and spread quickly. So I'll show you some of the wind gusts for Wednesday. Also, I'll take you back to some of the heat we'll endure for today and tomorrow, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Guys, thanks so much. 543 talking sports this morning. The countdown is on to one of the biggest sporting events in Eastern Oregon this summer.
For the 4th year in a row, Wild Horse Resort and Casino is hosting a major stop on the Epson Tour, the official qualifying tour of the LPGA.
Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen shows us why it's more than just golf. It's a community showcase.
Wild Horse Resort and Casino is once again rolling out the green carpet for the Epson Tour, hosting 140 of the world's top rising stars in women's golf.
It really showcases all we're doing out here at Wild Horse. This golf course attracts people from all over this region, and this tournament attracts some of the finest women golfers all across the world. So it just shows you the stage we're on out here at Wild Horse.
From birdies to breakthroughs, Wild Horse Resort and Casino's Director of Grounds, Sean Houlihan, says last year's tournament put Eastern Oregon in the national spotlight when a golfer from Thailand shattered records and went on to earn her LPGA card. In fact, 13 players from last year's Wild Horse stop made the leap to the Pro Tour.
There'll be 144 players, and there's more than 200 players in the Epson Tour, but only 12 of them qualify for the LPGA Tour.
The stakes are high, and so is the community support. The tournament runs August 15th through the 17th. Tickets are just $12, and kids 15 and under get in free.
Weather conditions out here in August are usually perfect for golf, and so we set the course up to match those conditions. So raising the bar, I guess, for the women playing this year is can they match what happened last year?
Last year, 4 hole-in-ones were recorded in a single day, and Houlihan says it's moments like that which make this much more than a golf tournament. It's a showcase for rising talent and a celebration of community. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And tickets are on sale now. Organizers say volunteers are also still welcome to sign up.
And we have a link to both up on our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, as we give you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. We're going to have your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door on this Monday morning. And we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have your full First Alert forecast after the break. It's 5:45.
Because of a dry spring in the Pacific Northwest, wildfire season has started early this year and will probably be with us through September. While some wildfires are lightning caused, most are caused by people. Apple Valley News Now reminds you when camping or hiking to obey all fire restrictions and make sure to put out your campfire completely before leaving the campsite. There's more information about preventing wildfires at applevalleynewsnow.com. Remember, it's up to all of us to help prevent wildfires.
The secret of every great chef is their knives and how well they sharpen them. Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Imagine no more. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone. Coated with Granite Stone non-stick and made of stainless steel. One of the hardest substances on earth for ultimate cutting-edge durability. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro.
Very comfortable, very sharp. I thought you had to be a professional chef to cut like this.
Yeah. Woo! This is really an incredible knife.
The Easy Grip rubberized handles deliver incredible control and accuracy. To chop salads in seconds, cut frozen solid meat with ease, and get razor-thin slices every time. The non-stick surface means food slides right off, and they're dishwasher safe. Plus, they'll stay razor sharp, guaranteed. Why pay hundreds? Today you'll get this complete set of 6 NutriBlades for only $29.95. You'll get the powerful Santoku knife to chop large fruit and dice onions. The slicer for razor-thin veggies and deli meat. The serrated bread knife for slicing fresh, warm bread with ease. The ultralight chef knife with reduced surface area for less friction. This versatile utility blade is great in the kitchen and around your home. And the precision paring knife for peeling and garnishing. $29.95 is an amazing value, but order right now and we'll even ship them to you for free. So get your own NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone, the last knives you'll ever buy.
To order, call 1-800-524-6914 or go online to buynutriblade.com. That's 1-800-524-6914 or go to buynutriblade.com. Order now.
Judy Justice, today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yep, today is a first alert weather day. Tomorrow is going to be a first alert weather day as well, as high temperatures could be into the triple digits for lower elevations. Actually, tomorrow is probably going to be a little bit hotter compared to today. So for today, sunshine across the map, also some light upper level haze across the map. If we did see some subtle reductions in air quality, that wouldn't be too shocking. These highs going to be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, 90s and triple digits for lower elevations, 80s in the Cascades and 70s and 80s in the Blues. Thankfully, wind's going to be pretty light for today, but after 8 this evening, that's when we could see some breezes in the Kittitas Valley, peak gust around 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, still widespread light haze in the upper levels. Overnight lows going to be pretty mild, as we'll be down into the 60s for lower elevations and 50s and 60s for the Cascades and Blues. For tomorrow, like I said, it's going to be a little bit hotter compared to today. 90s and triple digits for lower elevations, 102 for Hermiston, 102 for the Tri-Cities, 103 up towards the Hanford site. Near 80 degrees in the Cascades and 80s for the Blue Mountains. Winds a little bit stronger for tomorrow, specifically after 5 p.m. Peak gust around 35 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. We will classify that as windy, 25 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. But this pales in comparison to the winds that we'll have for Wednesday, as the wind's going to be widespread across the map. It'll be very windy in the Kittitas Valley, and we would also classify the Morrow County foothills as windy, but breezy/windy across the map. So that means that fires could have the tendency to start or spread quickly, especially if some people are going to be shooting fireworks out there, which I would personally highly recommend against. Let the professionals handle that. So winds going up on Wednesday due to a cold front that thankfully is going to knock down our temperatures by about 10 degrees between Tuesday to Thursday. They'll have some pretty normal high temperatures for Thursday and beyond. Unfortunately, no substantial rainfall chances in the forecast over the next 7 days, so that means that our vegetation dryness situation is going to continue to look not great as we move forward. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Triple-digit heat today and tomorrow. Breezy and a bit cooler Thursday than normal highs into the 4th of July weekend. In Yakima, near 100 Monday and Tuesday, mid-90s Wednesday, then upper 80s Thursday and beyond. In Ellensburg, highs teeter-totter on triple digits today and tomorrow, then tracking dangerous fire weather Wednesday and Thursday due to winds picking up. In Hermiston, either at 100 or a bit hotter Monday and Tuesday, then 90s and breezy for Wednesday through Sunday. Finally, for Walla Walla, hot weather for the next couple of days, perhaps a shower Wednesday, then dry with normal highs for Thursday and beyond.
Time is now 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
And we start with top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. Over the weekend, Yakima police responded to a domestic violence call involving a man allegedly armed with a gun. He fled on foot during the investigation, tossed the weapon, and was quickly detained inside. Officers found significant amounts of suspected fentanyl tablets, both powder and pressed. The suspect, a convicted felon, now facing charges including unlawful firearm possession and possession with intent to deliver and domestic violence, malicious mischief.
And a man and woman are arrested after a shoplifting incident at a pet store on South Keelan Street. Both attempted to run away when they saw officers. They were taken into custody after a short chase. The man faces robbery charges and the woman faces theft offenses.
Yesterday, firefighters responded to a brush fire near Columbia Center Boulevard and West 20th Avenue in Kennewick. The blaze burned about 3 acres of light to medium brush, moved uphill towards the west. Additional ground crews and air support were called in. All resources were released overnight after that fire was under control.
And a man in Pasco nearly drowned Thursday night after attempting to boat in a Fisher-Price sandbox. So it was shaped like a boat, but it was a sandbox. It sank near Schlegel Park, and the boater struggled to stay afloat. Pasco Fire was able to deploy its water rescue team, and they were able to save him.
And tragedy struck over the weekend near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where a man armed with a rifle set a wildfire and then opened fire on first responders. 2 firefighters killed, a third wounded. Local departments in Spokane joining the outpouring of grief, with fire crews and police joining in on an escort as the fallen were transported through the city.
In your national headlines this morning, President Trump wants to sign his sweeping domestic policy legislation by Friday. Its fate is uncertain as it goes into today's vote-a-rama in the Senate. Democrats are united in opposition. Most Republicans are united in support of the bill. But if more than 3 of them oppose the measure, it's likely to fail.
And 5:53 in your business headlines this morning. President Trump says there is, quote, a buyer for TikTok, but he's not saying who it is. In a Fox News interview that aired just yesterday, the president said he will disclose who it is in about 2 weeks. He gave a hint, though, saying the buyers were a, quote, group of very wealthy people. Trump said that he thinks he will have to get China's approval for the deal to go through, though. It's been about 5 months since a law went into effect requiring TikTok to be banned in the U.S. unless it was sold off by its China-based parent company. The president has in turn signed 3 orders delaying enforcement on the ban. The deadline for TikTok parent company ByteDance to hand over control of TikTok to U.S. operations is now September 17th.
In your health headlines, the Supreme Court has rejected a challenge to part of the Affordable Care Act related to the panel that recommends no-cost preventative health care. Insurers have to cover the panel's recommended preventative services at no cost. The appeal never threatened to take down the Affordable Care Act, but it could have impacted millions of Americans' access to preventative care. And that's because cost-free preventative care makes people more likely to get screenings and other services to detect disease at an earlier stage. The High Court ruled members of the panel don't need to be appointed by the president, and that confirms HHS Secretary RFK Jr. and his Biden administration predecessor both had the ability to name the experts on the panel.
5:54, talking sports this morning. Seattle Mariners just finished a 3-day battle with the Texas Rangers over the weekend. Seattle starting off with a 1-run win on Friday, but the Rangers pulled a Missy Elliott flip it, reverse it, taking the win on Saturday, also by 1 point with a 3-2 final score. And then yesterday, tensions high and the pressure was on as both teams faced off for the final time. Both teams playing hard, but the Mariners came in with a 2-run lead, winning with a score of 6-4. Today, they hope to take that momentum and use it against the Kansas City Royals.
Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Is it worth it? Let me worth it.
You're welcome.
Anyways, trending this morning, a man known for giving back to his community aimed to do that one last time after he died. And let's just say if you were there, you're lucky.
Funeral services for Daryl Thomas were held in Detroit, Michigan. His sons arranged to have a helicopter fly over the funeral home and drop some things.
Money and rose petals were dropped from the chopper.
Oh,
wow.
Lucky. So Crystal Perry is Thomas's niece, and she said the helicopter drop was how her uncle wanted to thank the community. Should have been there.
Wow. Thomas owned a car wash in the city. Police were told about the plans to drop roses and money from the helicopter. Oh, they were told that they were dropping roses. They didn't know that they were also going to be dropping money.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating, but police say they're not investigating. Yeah, you don't need to investigate, you know, just had to be there.
Just like
you weren't there.
Those were his final wishes, and
yeah, it's sweet
to be able to make it happen. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Gunfire erupts during a domestic violence call. Deputies on leave and a suspect missing in Yakima County. What we know so far, that's all coming up in your next hour.
Plus, even a flying car glitch could not stop the Queen Bee. What happened mid-show that had Beyonce fans doing a double take at her concert. Details are coming up. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, it's a first alert weather day for today and tomorrow. We're talking some very hot conditions for lower elevations. I'll tell you just how hot coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.